Hello, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Lisa Ware, and this is our journey through the chakras. We are on week 1 of 7, and so we will be working through all 7 of the chakras in this series. And so I'd love for you to join us all 7 weeks. You can join us live, or of course it'll immediately be available on our Lisa Ware Yoga for Love YouTube channel right after this, so you can share it with anybody that you want to do this series with. So we're going to be working through a series of Vinyasa yoga, some Sun Salutations that are for each of the chakras. We're going to be talking about the crystals for each chakra. We're going to be talking about certain breathing exercises for each of the energy points in the body, as well as some things that you can gaze at called yantras, which are the symbols of the chakras, and lots of different handouts that we're going to have available for you next week on my blog at yogaforlove.com/blog. So we're going to upload everything that we cover in each class by the second week. So by week 2, Wednesday night, you'll have everything that you need for your handouts. And then if you're kind of behind and you catch this later, you'll always know where to find the handouts. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'd like you to begin in easy seat, and we're going to begin with a breath work specifically for balancing the root chakra. Welcome, thank you all for being here. So glad you're here. And we're going to begin just in our seated posture. And we'll just begin with a special breath work, just first aligning and breathing and just finding our own natural breath. So go ahead and just find your seated posture. If you want to sit on a bolster or a blanket, if you did grab a prop, you can use that. Bree, would you mind handing me that meditation cushion? Perfect. Thank you, ma'am. So you can use that to sit like a cushion, a blanket. If you're using props, you want to use a firm folded blanket, and that helps you to keep your seated position like where your hips are a little higher than your knees. So you want your hips to be always a little bit higher than your knees, just for the reason being that if your knees sit high, it kind of makes you rock back, and it also grounds your back. So you want to just sit however you need to get your spine to be tall. Try to just notice what kind of works for you, then you're going to know in the future, just, okay, I'm going to need 2 blankets, or I'm going to need a bigger cushion, or whatever. So we're going to go ahead and begin with just finding our own natural breath. And if your cushion is really high, like this cushion can be really high, I'll take it off to the side a little bit, and where it's not quite so high, because my hips already kind of drop open. So I feel like you can go ahead and hold your blanket one time. It's a little high, and you're that way you won't be so wobbly. Yeah. And then try to sit on it. See if that's better? Is that a little bit better? Is that good? Or maybe take a second blanket. If you fold up your blanket too little, it'll just be too small of a base. So you want a nice firm base. This is all about our root chakra, so we want to find a very firm, solid position in our posture today. And we're going to begin with just our natural breath. So just in and out through the nose. Feel the belly rise and fall. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And today I'd like you to use Jhana Mudra. So we're going to touch index finger to thumb. Just the tips, the soft padded part of the tip of your thumb. And we're going to turn our palms down today for grounding. Let your wrists rest on your knees. And just find a focal point that's on the earth, straight ahead of you. You're going to breathe in and out through the nose. Feel your belly rise. And feel your belly fall with your breath. Take a moment here just to check in. Let go of your day. In and out through the nose. And we're going to use a hand to nose gesture. So we're going to take our right hand, we're going to bend down the first 2 fingers, not use those 2 fingers, and we're going to make our mudra for the breathing exercise. So we're going to close off the nostril. And I'm going to just share with you, I'm going to put my glasses on here. It's a really great breath technique here for the root chakra. And there's 3 different mantras that we're going to do. So I'm going to read it to you first, and we're going to practice it. This is a really great reference book here called Chakra Meditation by Swami Saradananda. And this one comes from the Root Chakra chapter. So this is a cleansing mudra. It's a cleansing action, and it's also balancing. So we're going to do 3 different breaths in a row that are just all kind of linked together, and it's all about purifying. And just so we're creating a good foundation, a good solid base for our practice. So with your right hand, you're going to take that mudra. This is called Vishnu mudra. Again, we're going to close off the right nostril by pressing your right thumb against your right nostril. Now as you breathe in, inside your head, you're just going to say the mantra Yam, Yam, Yam. And Yam is for the heart, which is the green one right here. And so that balances out your heart. Now, of course, why are we working on the heart when we're working on the root? We're trying to create balance, okay? So just breathing in and just chanting in your mind all the way up to the top of your breath, picturing air or wind throwing through all of your energy points and just blowing away any impurities. At the top of your in-breath, pause. We're going to just pinch both nostrils, hold the breath in, and then exhale, holding your ring finger of your right hand on your left nostril. Breathe out. Again, repeating the Yam, 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 Yam. So we're just going to do that 3 times. So breathing in, saying Yam to your own mind, and then holding, and breathing out. Yam, 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 Yam. Hold, and then again, inhale. Yam, Yam. Remember your mudra on your other hand. Yam, Yam. All the way to the top of your breath. And then hold. Exhale. Yam, 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 Yam. Inhale. Yam, 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 Yam. Hold. Exhale. Yam, 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 Yam. And then just coming back, take your mudra in your other hand. We're going to bring it down. Now just breathe in and out through the nose. And take a moment just to check in with the balance that we're creating in the body. 2 more breaths. That's purifying with the air element. Now this time we're going to purify with the fire element. This is the element of the solar plexus, and this is called Ram, Ram, Ram. So we're going to use that sound. We're going to this time again take your Vishnu mudra, which your 2 fingers are not going to be used, your strong fingers here. And we're going to this time keep your left nostril closed. Inhale through the right, repeating Ram. This is the mantra of fire. Ram, 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 Ram. Hold. Hold with your right thumb and breathe out. Ram, 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 Ram. Inhale. Ram, 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 Ram. Hold. Exhale. Ram, 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 Ram. Hold. Inhale, right nostril. Ram, 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 Ram. Hold. Close with your right thumb and exhale. Ram, 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 Ram. Now we're going to take the index finger to thumb again and just hold there. Take a breath or 2. Did you feel it get a little hotter? So yeah, it does. It brings up that sweat. I'm starting to sweat already. And I was even talking while I was doing it. You know, so it does. It creates that element of fire. So we're cleansing with air. We're cleansing with fire. Now we're going to wash the nectar from what's called the Soma Chakra. So the Soma Chakra, we're going to inhale through the left. We're going to say Tom, Tom, Tom. And so as we inhale to the left, this is the focus on the moon. Okay? And if you need to move, and you don't have to sit in that same posture, you can move where your hips are comfortable. So the most important part of breath work and meditation is that you're comfortable. There's not really any rules. So make sure that that's going to happen, because if you're not comfortable, you're going to be totally distracted. So this was on the Soma, or the lunar energy, the Chandra energy. So this is a balancing from the sun, now we're into the moon. So again, we're going to inhale through the left. Tom, tom, tom. Focus on the chakra is right above the palate, behind the inner arch of your left eyebrow. And then with your little and ring fingers, we're going to again close the nostrils, hold it. Imagine the nectar cleansing away any impurities. Now close off with your right again. Inhale with your left, same side. We're not switching sides this time. We're only inhaling through the left. Tom, 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 tom. Close it off. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the left. One more time. Tom, 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 tom. Hold it. Exhale to the right. Remember your mudra on your other hand. And then hold in Jhana mudra, both hands. So last cycle, you're doing great. I know it's really tedious practice. If your nose is not working really well, just breathe through your mouth whenever you need to. That's a really good point. Thank you for that. Yeah, because we're right in the midst of allergy season. And so, of course, practicality will be like, okay, it'd be great to breathe through my left nostril, but it's not flowing. So it's moving. Good. Yeah, good. So it's moving. And as the energy moves, even with your intention and with the sound vibration that you're creating inside your body with the inner mantra, it will start to move energy. And that's what we're doing. So now we're grounding with the earth element. So the last one, we're going to release our right nostril and inhale through it very slowly. So again, you're taking your same mudra. And the root element sound is Lam. So this is the grounding chakra. And so now we're going to finish by grounding. So inhale. Lam, Lam. Feel the earth mantra. Feel the sound grounding you. Take your attention to the chakra at the base of the spine. And release both nostrils. And then we're going to just take Jhana mudra. And again, you can focus on Lam, 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 Lam. And then just coming back to your natural breath. So how do you feel? Relaxed. Isn't it very relaxing? Yeah, it's a tedious practice. It takes some time to do, but it's really, really worthwhile to do that. Because you're activated the air, you've activated the fire, you called in the element of the moon and the earth. So now that really the intention is set. And so there is a really great visualization on the yantra. And I was going to mention to you, I was going to show you this. And this is the artist's interpretation of the root chakra. So there's lots of different symbolism here, which we're not going to get into a whole lot of that today. But I do want to share with you a few things about the root chakra that's really important. And then what I'll do is I will just leave this one, which is the bigger one up here, so you can see that while we practice. And so the root chakra, this is a really great, these little cards are really great. They have all the chakras on them. And this comes from a really awesome resource. I'm going to put all these resources again on the blog. But this is a chakra balancing kit. It's way over there, so I'll show you later. But it's by Anadia Judith. And so on the back of it, it tells a little bit about each chakra. And I'm just going to read these qualities for you so you know what energy we're working with today. So the Sanskrit name for the root chakra is Muladhara. And you can see the Muladhara chakra here, which is on this dark red. And each artist was going to draw it a little bit differently. We also have a chakra poster here. And this chakra poster is from SanskritSounds.com. And this one is actually the artist's interpretation. These are the artist's interpretation. This is actually the Vedic way that it's written. So these are actually the colors from the Vedas. So you can see the bottom is a dark red with 4 lotus points on each side, and it's yellow in the middle. So those are actually the colors that were named in the Vedas when they were describing the chakras. So that's actually historically correct. So, and that's from my teacher, Nikolai Bachman. So you can also order that. It's a really great poster. If you're one of our teachers especially, I would highly suggest getting that poster. So the root name Muladhara means root support. The location is the base of the spine. It's the coccygeal plexus, where the coccyx just kind of curves a little bit, and the perineum, which is the base of the spine there. And the purpose is foundation, grounding, survival, and stability. The issues are work, home, family, health, structure, finances, trust, nourishment, and security. So if any of those are your issues, work on your root chakra. Super important, super important. The element is earth, and I can tell you, just going back one step from those, the foundation, your home, your finances, your security. We had a major house fire in 2014, and so when your foundation is in chaos, you really have to focus on your root practice, because if you don't, everything else becomes chaos very, very quickly. And it can spin out really, really, really fast, but it can also become super grounded really, really, really fast. So that's all up to you on how you decide to react to things, or if you're deciding to not react, but instead be proactive. And so this practice is all about the element of the earth. The adrenal glands are the endocrine system. The color is red, the senses smell. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. And like we mentioned, the seed sound is long. So the long, long, long sound is the sound for the root chakra. The vowel sound is O, as in rope. And then the identity is the physical. The orientation is self-preservation, and the demon of the root chakra is fear. The right is the right to be here, or the right to have, and the affirmation is I am. And the developmental stage is the womb to 12 months. The cosmic principle is gravity. So we're going to just begin to move a little bit into our root chakra. So go ahead and come onto your mat. We're going to come into all fours. And go ahead and spread out the fingers. And we're just going to move through a cat and cow practice just to get all the energy of all the moving energy into all the chakras. Moving. So we're going to move like a cow. So we're going to inhale and then exhale. Ha. Ha. Inhaling. Ha. 2 more. Ha. And inhale. Exhale into cat. And let's come into child's pose for a moment. Widening the knees. Bringing the toes to touch, sitting back onto the heels. Let's rest our head. Soften the elbows and just gently rock the hips from side to side. And breathe. Just moving the body, breathing, feeling, just letting go. Checking in with the sound of the breath. In and out through the nose. And take and scoop our arms around the body and turn our head to one side. And just gently rest into your mat. Coming into a deeper child's pose if you'd like. A few nice long breaths here. If you want to move out your props, we're going to go ahead and come back into all fours. And we're going to move into downward facing dog. So spreading out the fingers, we're going to bring the knees kind of tucked in, kind of back to almost like a child's pose. Toes tucked under. And then we're going to focus on using our core as we lift into our down dog. So we're going to just lift the hips to the sky, let the head relax. Let's go ahead and just gently pedal the legs, alternating pressing out the heels. And just breathing here. Make sure you're centered on your mat. If you're sliding at all, you can use a mat towel and let your head relax. So any of the postures that have to do with the legs are activating the root chakra. Just breathe here. Again, if you're sliding, you can use a towel. And then let's come back to child's pose. And go ahead and rest. Let your head relax. Gently rock the hips from side to side. Breathe here, good. If you're sliding, ladies, you can use a towel. There's some towels over there by the bathroom that you can put onto your mat. If your towel is making you slide, it means that you're probably not sweaty enough to stick to your towel, so you might take your towel out. Inhale, rock yourself forward. Tuck the toes under and press back. And come into downward facing dog. Let your head drop up. Breathe here. Pedaling out the legs. Alternating, pressing out the heels. And breathe. This time we're going to inhale, lift the right foot. Bend the knee, we're going to open the hip. Exhale, set it down. Inhale, lift the left. Bend the knee, open the hip. And exhale, set it down. Let's go ahead and walk hands and feet together, coming into forward fold. Inhale, take your hands to your shin, lift halfway. And then take your hands around the back of your body. We're going to slide the head, neck, and shoulders down into a forward bend. Just let your head drop out. Shake it out. Let's go ahead and grab opposite elbows. And just gently rock from side to side. Let your head drop out between your arms. Go ahead and bring your feet. There's a couple inches between your feet. So that way your feet are firmly grounded. Your feet are going to be straight down beneath the center of the hips. And then just shake the head out. Relax your jaw. Breathe here. Couple more deep breaths. Bend your knees. We're going to take the arms straight forward and we're going to come right up into a modified chair. So breathing here. Now again, focus on that fire center. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up. And then we're going to exhale, we're going to sweep the arms back. Stay in your posture. Inhale. And exhale back. Good. Keep going. Good. Exhale back. 2 more. Good. Bring your knees and your feet to be even with each other. 1 more. Exhale. Hold your chairs. Bring our hands to our heart. Now just spread out the toes a little bit. Let's heel toe feet and see if we can bring our knees and ankles to touch. Building that fire energy. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, bring our hands down by our sides. Relax the shoulders. Let's go ahead and bring our hands to our heart center. Feet together. We're going to just begin with our Sun Salutation for the Root Chakra. So our Sun Salutations are going to be a little bit different each week depending on which energy center we're activating. Hands at our heart. Focal point is straight ahead. Samastitihi, steady and strong posture. Focus on your breath. Just reach up. Now your hand mudra here is Hasta Mudra. You're just reaching with the hands and you're reaching into what we call Uttita Hastasana, far-reaching hand pose. Now notice if your shoulders are pinched up by your ears. So what I'd like you to do is roll your shoulders back and away and soften your elbows a little bit and then just reach but without squeezing. So you might have your elbows a little wider. Right now the palms are still facing each other and the fingers are active. Good, let's bring our feet just right beneath the hips. Breathing here, and if you can reach without pinching the shoulders, and if that feels uncomfortable, just take your shoulders wide and come into butterfly arms. So 2 more breaths. Breath in. Hands come through heart center all the way down. When we get to the center of the ribs, we're going to fold our hands down, and we're going to fold in half. And then just grab opposite elbows, either ragdoll where your hands are flipped up, or you can hug around the back of your body. Tuck your elbows right behind your knees, and hug all the way into forward fold. Just a couple breaths here. Release, coming into ragdoll, shake the head out, rock it from side to side. Let's go ahead and touch the ground. We're going to, if you have blocks for your practice, you can use blocks, but we're not going to use blocks today. We're just going to step our right foot between our thumbs and step our left foot back, coming into a lunge. Hold here. Breathing in. Exhale, we're going to step back to downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, just shake the head out. Inhale, let's lift the right foot, bend the knee, open the hip. Exhale, set it down. Inhale, lift the left, bend the knee, open the hip. Exhale, set it down. And let's come into a turbo dog. So we're just going to lower down and then inhale lift. So you're going to maybe just lower just a little bit, or you can lower all the way almost to child's pose and come back. So we're just lowering, using your core. Very good. And lift. Make sure your feet are the same distance apart as your hands. So you have a firm, balanced foundation to your downward facing dog. One more time through your turbo dog. And back to your downward facing dog. Now let's inhale, step our other foot forward. This time left foot forward. Oh no, which one? Right foot forward.
I did the opposite.
Whichever one you didn't do last time. Hold your lunge. And let's step to forward fold. Inhale. We can take our hands to our shins and lift halfway. And then exhale, slide the hands down the back of the body and fold in half. And if you don't want to fold super deep, you can find ragdoll. Your hands don't touch the ground. You can grab opposite elbows. If your hands do touch the ground, the backs of your hands touch the ground. So flip your palms so that your shoulders can relax. You're not gripping the ground. You're letting gravity just be a nice assist to your posture here. Shake the head out. Let's bring our hands back to our heart center. Coming back through, all the way up to standing. Through it, just a little easy chair. And then back to mountain pose. Back to our starting posture. Anjali Mudra, hands at our heart, elbows are active out to the side. So even though we're not flowing really fast, are you sweating?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's activating a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can feel the energy moving in your body. We're going to ground down through our feet. We're going to move through that 2 more times through that Sun Salutation. And so breathing here, feel free to take a drink whenever you need to, hydrate whenever you need to in your practice, okay? So that's, Deborah just reminded us, and you might want to just grab a quick little drink. So coming to starting posture. Feet are close together in Samastitihi. So my feet are about touching, and the heels have an inch or so between them. And that leaves a little space for your hips to kind of drop open. And what you're going to do is you're going to roll the inner thighs forward. That really grabs all those large muscles of the quadriceps around the femur and allows us to ground. Now the next thing you want to do is lift slightly with your toes. So you're not gripping the ground, but instead you're relaxing into the ground. Does it feel different when you lift your toes a little bit? So that's what kind of stance you want to have when you're in your steady and strong. Now go ahead and add your mudra. Anjali Mudra, hands to your heart. And then add your reach, either butterfly arms, half reach, or full hasta mudra, which is hands reaching, Utthita Hastasana, far reaching. Breathe. Now, if you're reaching, you don't want to be reaching out here because you're not creating a straight line. So you're working with an element of prana from the earth all the way up to the sky. So you're creating a strong line of energy. Again, lighten through your tips of your toes. The mounds of your toes are lifted, but the tips of your toes are lifted, but the mound are grounded in. And as you begin to deepen your practice, you can keep the tips of your toes lifted more. Go ahead and come down into forward fold. Holding here, either ragdoll or grabbing opposite elbows, or you can lift halfway, lengthen. Take your hands around the back of the hamstrings, slide your hands down to your Achilles, and hug the elbows behind the knees and just shake it out. Toes are light because you're grounded fully through all corners of the feet. Let's go ahead and bend into a monkey pose. Crouching down, we're going to step back with the left foot. Find your lunge. So in your lunge, you want to make sure that your knee is not way in front of you. Get your knee right above your ankle. So again, you're grounding through your joints. Make sure your heel is straight down beneath your knee. Your hands are framing your foot. Breathe here. Then we're going to step back to downward facing dog. Hips to the sky. Inhale, lift the left foot, open the hip. Exhale, set it down. Inhale, lift the right. Open the hip. Exhale, set it down. Now again, moving through your turbo dog, this time 5 breaths. With control, we're going to inhale. On our exhale, we're going to just lower down. And inhale. Exhale, maybe just an inch down, maybe a couple inches down, maybe all the way where your knees are hovering. Now what I don't want you to do is come forward into a plank or into a box pose to do that. So I want you to use your core, 2 more, with your own breath. Exhaling, inhaling back to downward facing dog. Breathe here. Inhale, lift the right foot, open the hip. Exhale, set it down. Inhale, lift the left, open the hip. Exhale, set it down. Let's inhale, lift the right. We're going to step the right foot forward and find your lunge. Breathe here. Just make sure you're on the opposite side. And go ahead and bring your foot back. Open the hip. And let's switch. Left foot. And open the hip. Spread out your toes. Let's go ahead and step the left foot forward. Find your lunge. Bring your heel all the way forward. Now your heel might get stuck on your mat somewhere in the middle. Grab your hand behind your calf. Sit your foot down between your hands. Make sure your heel's right below your knee. And breathe. Now pushing off the back foot, we're going to step to forward fold, halfway lift. And fold in half. Hands come to our heart, coming up through chair, and then all the way up. And exhale to mountain pose. Holding here. We're going to find Tadasana pose. And in Tadasana, we're going to bring our feet just right straight down beneath the little bony pronations of the hips. We're going to flow with our arms. Keep your knees soft, reach up. And exhale. And hands come to our heart. Holding here. And with it one more time. You're sweating pretty good. Yeah, it really brings up a lot of energy.
Feel it.
You can feel it, yeah. Yeah, even though we're not moving really fast, it gets your cardiovascular system really moving. So this time we're just going to move through 1 breath per movement, moving through the whole salutation. Go ahead and come into Samasthiti. Feet are together. Heels are slightly apart. Inner thighs are rolling slightly forward and toes are light. Anjali Mudra, we don't want saggy elbows. We want active hands, active elbows. And then inhale, we're going to reach up, Utthita Hastasana. One more big breath here. On our exhale, hands come to heart center. As we fold down, we're going to point the fingertips down. And then inhale, touch the ground, look forward. Exhale, step right foot back. Make sure your left heel is below your knee. You might use your hand to make sure that happens. Breathe in, step back to downward facing dog. Exhale. 3 breaths in turbo dog. Inhale, and then exhale, lower. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, let's lift the left foot. Bend the knees, spread out the toes, open that hip. Look underneath your left armpit. Exhale, set it down. Inhale, lift the right. Bend the knee, open the hip. We're going to exhale, step that right foot forward. Again, if you get stuck, grab your right foot. Make sure your hand is straight down beneath your shoulder, your heel beneath your knee, and then just breathe into your lunge. Use your Ujjayi breath, push off your back foot, step to forward fold. Relax your head, neck, and shoulders. Bend the knees, hands through heart center, coming up through your chair all the way up. And exhale, hands come to our heart. And coming into Tadasana. Holding here, soften your knees. Let's flow with our breath. And exhale it out. Inhaling it up. Exhaling it out. And inhale, reach. Exhale, hands come to our heart. Relax the shoulders. Soften through the toes. Focus on your breath. We're going to come into tree pose. So find a focal point. We're going to pick up the right heel. Turn the right knee out to the side and bring your ankle and your heel to touch. So again, you're forming roots. Spread out your toes on that right foot. Spread out your toes on that left foot. Now you might just stay right here. Notice if your right leg is locked and your knee is pushing back, soften through your knee so that way you can just let your energy just relax into the ground without forcing it. Begin to add your branches. We're finding a focal point to look at. One single point in focus is called a drishti. Let's again take that jhana mudra, index fingers to thumb, and we're going to turn our palm to face toward the ground for grounding. Focus pulling the energy up through your feet as if you're a tree, just drinking the water, drinking the nutrients up from the earth. If you want to begin to balance, begin to bring your foot into your calf. If that causes you to fall out, just come back to where you're a nice grounded tree. If you want to deepen, you can reach your right hand and grab your ankle. Tuck your heel right into the inner thigh. If you step out and come back in, that's fine. And then you can add your reach, or you can even bring your hands back to your heart. So whichever feels better for you right now. Rikshasana. Riksha is a tree. Go ahead and slowly come out or fall out. If you fell back out, just come back in for a second. We'll come into mountain pose. Breathing here. We're going to inhale, reach up. Exhale through heart center, pointing down when you get to the sacral chakra, all the way down. 2 more times. And down. And last one. And bring your hands to your heart. Hold here in our starting posture. Soften your right knee. Begin to shift your weight onto the right. And pick up your heel. Bring your left heel onto your ankle. Right knee is soft. Spread out your toes. Now, tree is what you make of it. So this is a really great place to be still. This is the very, very, very first posture. Really the first time in my life I ever was still. And it was in my adulthood, which is sad. You know, I mean, it's not really sad, but it's just a fact. You know, like we just go, right? And we just kind of do. So this is a really great posture just to be. So be a tree. How does that tree look for you today? Termites? Oh, less termites. Okay. So sometimes it can be a super windy day when you're in tree. One side of the body might be super windy, one side might be super stable. Try not to place any judgment on yourself in any part of your practice. If you want to deepen here, you can pick up your heel. And there's just certain days when you just feel the energy moving a lot more. If you want to be grounded, you can take that jhana mudra and bring the palm to face down. But if that causes you to fall out of your pose, maybe you can come back to Anjali mudra. Mudra is like yoga with your hands. And the mudras have been practiced for thousands of years. I mean, thousands of years. So there's so much power in that intention, right? Come back. Mountain pose. Tadasana. This time we're just going to hold. Feel that rooted energy. Let's bring our gaze down to the earth. And breathe. Let's reach all the way up. I'm going to fold in half all the way out. Inhale, halfway lift. I'm going to exhale and fold. Go ahead and step back into all fours. We're going to move through a few cat and cow practice. So finding a nice grounded hand. The fingers are wide, almost like a starfish, and then a little bit of space underneath our palm. Breathe in. Scoop the chest open. And then exhale, round the back, tuck the head, curl. So this time we're going to kind of move side to side. Rolling the hips, rolling the shoulders. And when you need to breathe in, come into your back bend. Keep the shoulders rolling, keep the hips moving. Sway with the rhythm of your breath. Exhale, round it out. Curl the head, neck, and shoulders. So you're getting into the energy of the divine feminine of our planet. Our planet is a feminine nature, a feminine consciousness. Her name is Gaia. And so Gaia is the mother of our own energy, so mother of all of our elements. We're all made of the same 5 elements as our planet. Just breathing here. Exhaling it out. And then we're coming back to our center. Let's come back to child's pose for just a few breaths. Pressing back and rest your head. While we're in child's pose, I'm going to just share with you a few things about the root chakra as you focus and breathe. So sun salutations are practiced regularly, and you can vary them up like we're doing during this practice here. But there's a couple things about the root chakra that we might really want to learn, and I'd like you just to rest in child's pose. There's a really wonderful quote here, and this is a quote for realization. Oh wait, hang on, I'm on the wrong one. So we're working with the root chakra. It was supposed to be a quote by, let me find it. So, in your root chakra, we're working on grounding. The ability to maintain dynamic contact with your body, the earth, and the reality around you. A grounded person is dynamic and alive, fully present in the here and the now. And the quote that I was looking for is from Henry David Thoreau. And this is, if you have built castles in the air, your work need not be lost. That is where they should be. Now, put the foundation under them. And so just think about where you can root down, honoring your body as a sacred temple for the divine within you. It's the primary task of the first chakra. If your vehicle is in order, the journey is more enjoyable. So your work, most people spend majority of the waking hours doing some kind of work. How you relate to your livelihood and whether it supports you adequately are important aspects of the first chakra. If your work provides a good foundation for your life, then you can travel to other areas of the chakra system with a supportive foundation beneath you. If not, your work will continually pull you back down to the first chakra issues. The right livelihood, job satisfaction, and work environment. Managing cash flow, dealing with debts, accounting, keeping track of it all. Trips in the outdoors in general, special trips to natural places, awareness of local environment issues. Grounding is the ability to keep that dynamic contact and no matter what you do. And your basic right is the right to be here. So go ahead and come up into a hero's pose, and you can sit on your bolster, your blanket. Take a moment just to hydrate here. How do you feel after your asana practice? Any feedback from your root chakra sun salutations? Or detoxifying? Yeah, it is very detoxifying. And especially, of course, our studio has far infrared heat, which is very detoxifying. Yeah. And it's 100% humidity because we just had a thunderstorm, so it's really detoxifying today. So those of you that are joining us on YouTube, you can kick up your heat a little bit in your space where you practice. It'll help you a lot. But you also want it to be a heat that's therapeutic, not going to dry you out.
Yeah, this is not, this heat, I like this heat. Usually I can't breathe in heat.
Right, because it's not heating the air, it's heating the mass of the space. So that's why it's kind of like it goes into your tissues.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it feels really good.
Yes.
It's very nice. So the next things we're going to talk about is the crystals for your root chakra. And so this is a great reference book. It's called Crystal Healing, and the author is Simon and Sue Lilly. And so we have black tourmaline, smoky quartz, hematite, and obsidian listed in this one. In addition, we have magnetite, lodestone, jasper, garnet, and ruby. So I have some examples of those over here in this little basket. And I'm going to bring these around to y'all. and you can check them out. So here's first show the camera real quick here and show you guys. So lava rock is a really, ooh, it's got super cloudy. It's really humid on the camera too. So we have lava rock, and we have, here's one type of jasper. Can you see that one? Here is another type of jasper. And then we have hematite, which is also magnetic. This one I believe is rhododendrite, which is red. Carnelian, which is also red because it's the root chakra. Smoky quartz. And then we have I think this is a type of snowflake obsidian. And these are all for the root chakra. So if y'all want, you can pass this around and check out these stones when we talk a little bit about the crystals. So how many of y'all use crystals in any of your practice at home or any of your quiet time?
I want to.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, crystals are awesome to work with. Yeah, so if you don't really know where to start, starting at the root chakra is always great. So starting with the root chakra, there is, in this particular book that I mentioned before, the chakra meditation, it has a little area talking about each of the properties of the chakra, what area is supported, where it's located, and we already talked about that. But as you move into the different layers, it's going to show you like key qualities, breathing practices, meditations that you can do, and things like that. So I really like several of these practices here. In this one, it lists hematite, smoky quartz, beryl, black tourmaline, and garnet. And crystals and gemstones act as energy amplifiers. So when they are placed in contact with your chakras or near them, or you wear them in jewelry, or you can place them on the base of your spine, actually at the chakra center, and they hold that energy. You can place them in your hands before meditation, or you can put them under your pillow when you go to sleep. So it's really a lot of fun to work with crystals. Have you all ever worked with crystals? A little bit? Okay, good. Yeah, and so that's a really great practice which helps you to balance out each chakra. Thank you so much, Bree. The flower essences, if you've ever worked with flower essences, you can place them under your tongue or take them in water before you meditate. And this one is suggesting beech, clematis, loose strife, rockwater, cherry plum, and wild oat. And then the essential oils for the root chakra is patchouli, sandalwood, vetiver, ginger, and thyme. So I used to have an aversion to patchouli, but no wonder, because I was not grounded. So sometimes you'll have an aversion to the things that really need to help you. So think about that, like especially when you're thinking about foods and stuff like that. Like if you don't like a particular type of food, think about, okay, is it really an aversion, or is it something that I'm lacking and it doesn't resonate with me because I'm so out of balance? So there could be two ways to look at that. And so that comes with just learning a little bit more about how the foods activate in your body. So the grounding foods, of course, would be all root vegetables. Anything that grows in the earth is, of course, extremely grounding. I don't recommend eating just plain white potatoes, though, because they don't really have any nutrition. That's a whole other talk. But they also have irradiated. And so unless you grew them yourself, the Yukon Gold potatoes, the organic ones are really great. They have a lot more nutrition. So, of course, sweet potatoes are really good. You've got in here beetroot, burdock, carrots, parsnips, turnips, and yams. And then anything that has a leafy green is always, has a lot of energy for the root and, of course, for the heart because it's green. So the vegetable proteins would be beans, legumes, dairy produce, nuts, nut butters, tofu, and soy products. And then seeds would be pumpkin seeds, pine nuts, sesame, and flower seeds, and the oil that's from those seeds as well. So that's kind of a helpful tool when you're thinking about that. We all have all that listed on our handout that's going to be available on our blog. So that's just kind of some ideas on how you can continue to do this work for this next week. And then lastly, I was just going to share with you a little bit. This is a really interesting book called The Chakras, and it actually has auric photographs of the chakra, which is very, very cool. And I wanted to show you this. Just because chakras, you're like, okay, what is that really? What is it? So I want to talk to you a little bit about what the chakras are. and I want to show you this really cool photo of the root chakra. So this is actually a picture taken of the energy of the root chakra. And I'm going to bring it up here so everyone can see it online. So this is an actual photo. It's gotten foggy again, y'all, sorry. So that is the picture of the root chakra. This is the book, The Chakras, C.W. Leadbetter, Leadbeater, excuse me. So this is the photo, and then what it's saying here, and it's talking about all the areas. You can get this on pretty much Google and stuff, but it's the pictures of all the cochlear nerve plexus, the pelvic plexus, coccygeal, and so that is where all the nerves gather, and that is actually where the root chakra is at that little plexus of nerves. So there's actually some science that you can focus on, and you can Google the energy centers and find a similar picture. A lot of chiropractors have those kind of pictures in their office or on their website as well, because of course working with the vertebrae helps to release those nerves, and that's where you get pain relief from chiropractic and things like that. So I wanted just to read to you what this author says. This is a similar, it is basically the radiating strokes of the chakras, forcing these sympathetic plexuses to assist them in their relay work. And so the crown chakra is not associated with any of the sympathetic plexuses, but it is associated with the pineal gland and the pituitary. So as we work through the energies, we've got root, which is earth, and then next week we'll be working on sacral chakra, which is water. And we're going to be moving up the elements, talking about each element as we work through that. And so let's go ahead and just come back onto our mat. We're going to come onto our back side. And just bring our knees into our chest. Give ourselves a nice little hug. And just gently rock from side to side to side. And just breathing here. And then just feel free to close the eyes. This is the energy of apana. So apana is the downward flowing energy. And just rocking your knees, hugging behind the backs of your knees so that the knee joint is free. And then just bring the knees apart with your hands. Take your hands onto the kneecaps, and we're going to come down and around into a big circle. Inhale, big wide circle down and around. Pull the knees towards you, then separate the knees down and around using your hands. And we're going to switch directions. Bring the knees together, push them down, apart, bring them up towards your armpits and back to center. And then moving with your breath, exhaling, widening as you inhale, bring them up. Exhale, down and around. Inhaling up. And then last one, exhaling here and around. And let's just hug our knees into our chest. Tuck your chin, just bring yourself into a little ball. And then release, bring your feet down. Let's go ahead and extend your right leg. And our right leg's just going to rest on the bottom of our mat. Make sure you're centered on your mat so your leg's not hanging off of your mat. And you can move out any props away from you. Now, if you have a blanket or a bolster or a cushion, take it out on the outside of your mat. And we're just going to bring it outside on the right side of our hip. We're going to hug our left knee in. Take your right hand to your left knee, let your left arm drop out to the side. And then take a big breath in. We're going to roll onto our side. And let your leg rest. And let your arms drop out. Soften your elbows. And then turn your head in the opposite direction of your knee. Close your eyes. Adjust your prop so that it's supporting you and you're resting in gravity without letting your legs just kind of hover in midair or your foot just dangle. You can move out anything that's in your hair, any clips, anything like that that's going to keep your head from relaxing. I also recommend not having any watches or any kind of electronics on your body at all. during your yoga practice, even a Fitbit. Those things send signals to satellites, so they're pretty powerful frequency interference. So just breathing here, a couple long, deep, full breaths. Let's hug our knees into our chest. Big hug. Extend your right leg. Let it rest. Hug your knee in. Right hand to the left knee. Let your left hand drop out to the side like a T. Palm open. You can even take Jhana Mudra here again, symbol of wisdom. And rolling onto your side. Oop, other side, sorry. And then just rolling over there all the way until your leg is resting on your prop. And then let your arms drop out. Gaze out over your arm in the opposite direction of your knee. Close your eyes. Breathe. In and out through the nose. Long, deep, full breath. With a soft gaze or eyes closed. And then bringing yourself back to our center. We're going to hug the knees into the chest. And then allow your arms to drop out to the side. Allow your palms to drop out. Close your eyes and come into corpse pose. And I'm going to play a few sound healing instruments for you. Feel the earth, Mother Gaia, supporting you. Feel the law of physics working with gravity, keeping us from flying off into space. Take a moment to allow ourselves to be attracted to the earth with the apana energy, that downward flow, just like the water. moving with the ability to be a shapeshifter down into the earth, deep into our planet, and utilize this healing energy of our mother planet. She gives it freely, and she wants us to take that energy to balance out her children, her people. And just pulling that energy up with our intention through walking barefoot on the land, through laying on the earth, through calling it in from our practices, our meditations. And feel the vitality coming into our body, finding that perfect balance, that sattvic state. Slowly bring your awareness to your fingertips and your toes, and just gently begin to move the fingertips and the toes. And then just go ahead and roll over onto one side or the other, or just hug the knees into the chest. And gently rolling onto a seated position with support. Coming into your easy seated. To close our practice together, we're going to again use the Jhana Mudra, index finger touching the thumb. The other three fingers are extending out with energy. We're going to place our hands on the outer legs, palms facing down today. And we're just going to chant the Lam chant 5 times together. Breath in. Lam, 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 Lam. Let's bring our hands back to our heart. And then to the crown of our head. And a deep bow. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining us. So thank you all for being here on YouTube, and we look forward to seeing you next Wednesday for our journey through the chakras as we move through our sacral chakra, and have a wonderful week.